this series. It's the first time they've done that in 15 years. Obviously, walking by the trophy case, not seeing it in there, what kind of motivation does that bring, and just wanting to get it back to Madison?
Yeah, no, I mean, it brings a lot of motivation. I kind of got thrown in there for the first time ever against these guys last year. I know what it feels like to be in there. I know the way that they play and their style, and I have a lot of respect for it. And it's extremely motivating to, you see that empty trophy case every day in our locker room. I think it hurts, and I think it means something to us. And I think like you said, it motivates our team, not just for the game, but in our preparation on a Tuesday and on a Wednesday and on a Thursday. So we know that it's got to be a great week. We know that we got to have extreme focus going into it. So
we talked about getting thrown in there for the first time, and it's pretty tough in terms of field position, the way that they were playing on special teams and defense last year. Just how big is that against a team like Iowa with the defense they've got to get yourself and make sure you guys stay in good field position?
Yeah, no, I think the story's kind of old as time when it comes to playing Iowa. Ferentz has been this 25th season. Coach Parker has been there, the whole time with them. That's their style. They win a lot of games playing that way. I think a lot of people would probably look at that and think that, if you don't score a lot of points, you're really susceptible to losing. Well, not at Iowa. They find ways to win games when they do score a lot of points and when they don't score a lot of points. And, I have a lot of respect for that, and it's definitely they play complementary football. They're good in all three phases, and so like I said, we have to play. It's got to be an extreme high level of execution. They're not going to make mistakes, and they're going to thrive if we make mistakes. And so, we have to really be locked in and focused on what we're doing.
Will struggled a little bit this season with drops. Is there anything that you tell him, or do you not need to tell him anything?
I mean, I got complete confidence in Will. To be completely honest with you, I don't really view his season as a struggle. I think he's been a good player for us, a great leader. He's doing a lot of things at a high level, and he'll continue to do that, and I got complete confidence in him.
You talked a little bit about Vinny a couple weeks ago. The growth just seems to keep going, and the targets seem to keep going up. Just how good is your relationship with him? And it seems like maybe sometimes people aren't necessarily prepared for him to get the work share that he gets.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said before, I got a lot of respect for Vinny and his body of work. I love the way that he plays. I love his speed. I love the way he catches the ball. He's doing a lot of things at a high level. We got to continue to push the ball for him. I have to find ways to get him the ball in the games like we've done before, and that's got to continue to be a strength for us. And Vinny will continue to play well. And like I said, I got to continue to get him the ball.
You had to go in for Tanner last year against Iowa. Just it's been over a year since then, but just what have you seen from yourself in that time from where you were then as a redshirt freshman to now in terms of your growth?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that was literally the first meaningful snap I ever played in college football. And so, I've started however many games. I've played some really good opponents, including Iowa is one of them. And so, I think there's just a lot of growth in the experience. It's not the jitters of being out there for the first time are kind of gone. There's obviously still, you get jitters every game, but when you've been in there before and you know what it feels like to go through a week and prepare and start, it's obviously a lot different. And just from a personal standpoint as a player, I'm a year better than I was last year. I've been in the system a year longer, and I'm just executing at a higher level than I was a year ago. And I believe the same thing about this team as a whole. And so I think that we're in a place that we should have confidence moving into this week.
I know that you transferred in, but just how you talk about Iowa and the history of as coach, but just with the rivalry. So how fast did you get kind of ingrained into what this type of rivalry game means to this program?
Yeah, I think you see it and you hear about it. And, even not being from here, you're just kind of familiar with this game, the physicality and the toughness of this particular game. I think what jumps out to me is just what this game means to this program, but just this state, to everybody. And I think this rivalry's been played since like 1894 or something like that. it's a long time. And so, I got a lot of respect for this rivalry and what it means to our state and what it means to this program. And, everybody in the locker room, all we want to do is bring home that trophy.
Braedyn, last year, coming to this game, you were just thrown into it in the second half. Obviously, one of the toughest teams that you played last year. Now, coming to this year, do you kind of think about that game at all as you kind of head into rivalry this year and just how that felt?
Yeah, I think obviously I remember the emotion of that game, but talking about how long Coach Parker's been there running the defense, they've been similar on defense for many years. So, that game from last year is a great starting point for us to kind of understand where they had success and understand kind of where we could have been better and things like that. Definitely use that experience to our advantage this week.
Luke said the
You get a
message.
haircut?
Yeah, I did.
All right.
Luke said the message on Sunday was just free for you. How difficult is that for you, or is that easy to do?
That's a tough battle in college football. As players and coaches really too, but as players, you put so much into 1 week and one game. You grind, as hard as you can, and you put everything that you got into playing a game like that. Penn State at night, and then kind of just the low of not winning that game, and the low of not doing some things on the field that you felt like you should have done. You come in here on a Sunday and kind of sitting with that feeling and that burn. We're all competitors. Losing sucks. It absolutely sucks. And so that's probably the toughest part is getting rid of that feeling and flushing that out of your system. But I'm with Coach Fickle in the sense of like the best thing to do when you feel that way is to go into work, to get on the field and to throw some routes and to run some plays and just compete a little bit and just reignite that love for the game. I think that's such a great thing for our team. And so I think moving into a Tuesday, you're able to kind of reset and refocus and move on to the next opponent and kind of flush that last one away.
So, how much does that Sunday schedule help you flush it out where you guys do practice, right? There are meetings that day, and Mondays are technically your day off. Does the schedule on Sunday help you kind of make those corrections faster and kind of get that out of your system too? Or
yeah, I think there's a lot of benefits to it. I think it kind of allows you to directly address what just happened, good or bad. For us this past Sunday, it was to be able to flush that loss out of our system and to move on. But then I also think that, doing things on Sunday, I think it almost fast forwards your week, because by the time the Sunday practice is over, you're done with the Penn State game, and then Monday is all Iowa. Really, Sunday night and Monday is all Iowa, and you're able to just, turn the page and move on. And so that's what I think probably is the best benefit of our system, and I like the way we do things.
Talked to Jake. He was mentioning you guys' Friday kind of protection meetings where it's just you two. What kind of preparation do you kind of do in a given week to kind of get to those meetings and what kind of those moments?
When it comes to me and Jake, it's just we need to be in unison as far as how we're going to handle everything that the defense presents. And as players, I think most people would tell you, like, you want to do what coach says. It's not about not doing what coach says, but you have to have your way of communicating and getting things on the same page and getting things sorted out. And that's kind of a unique deal with a quarterback and a center. And so that's really what that meeting is for. It's nothing but just a refresh. By Wednesday night, we're all schooled up on how we want to handle them. I think if you're learning your opponent on Friday night, you're pretty far behind. And so, that meeting is really just to make sure, hey, and it's a quick one, because a lot of times, like I said, we are already, extremely sure about everything that we're doing and how we're handling it. So it's really just a, click through it. We're on the same page. All right, we feel good about everything.